Hey guys, and welcome. My name is Jennifer Dixon with Southeast Real Estate Investors, a part of LPT Realty. And I wanted to chat with you today about the definition, if you will, of an off-market property. So if you are familiar with buying and selling real estate, sorry, I'm walking down the road. My daughter is in dance class and I figured, hey, I've got a little bit of time. Let's shoot a video and teach some stuff. So if you hear some cars, that's what I'm doing. So a lot of times when people are in the market for a home, they'll get on Zillow, they will call an agent, they'll maybe Realtor.com, Redfin, something of that nature, and they are in the market, they're just searching for a home, right? Well, there are ways that you can find properties that might not necessarily be listed on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com. Those are considered off-market properties, or when you buy one, it's like an off-market transaction. So, and honestly, I interchange those two terms a lot, so forgive me for that. So what exactly is an off-market property? Any property that you find that is not listed on the MLS, the multiple listing service, is considered an off-market property. So what does that mean? That means like for sale by owner. Those are off-market properties. That means when you find a wholesaler, which is a non-licensed individual that will help to put together buyers and sellers, but not licensed. They find a property, somebody doesn't want to list it on the MLS for one reason or another, and they send it out to their network of individuals, sometimes agents, sometimes in buyers, and those people buy those, that would be like you or me, and we buy directly from the wholesaler. The wholesaler does mark it up. Honestly, it can be 25 or more, but it's usually around between $10,000 and $30,000. I have seen one go as high as 45, by the way. The off-market transactions don't have the same protections for the buyers. And the other thing that you might want to think about, especially if you're talking with a wholesaler, is you will be paying the title fees for typically what's called a double close, for the closing with the wholesaler and then the closing with you, which means the wholesaler, it's not really a full closing or a full ownership, but you're going to pay a little more title fees. We'll just leave it at that. So an off-market transaction or an off-market property is any property that is for sale, that is not with the multiple listing service, that does not get the benefits or the privileges of listing on the MLS, which would give you more marketing, more exposure. The off-market properties are typically, what is the word here? There's typically not as much demand because there are fewer people that are used to it. I have a friend. I just made a friend. A friendly little friend. There's usually less competition with off-market transactions because not as many people are aware of them. Not very many agents even know how to how to find off-market properties or even use wholesalers. Typically, the majority of my business is off-market. I've just been doing this for a while, and I've started to get to know who the wholesalers are. You can find some for sale by owners on Zillow and Redfin. You have to, with Zillow specifically, that's the one that I'm more familiar with, you have to toggle over for sale by owners. With wholesale properties, you don't have some of the benefits of contingencies that you would with an on-market property, like an inspection contingency or an appraisal contingency. But they are very good, especially if you are a more savvy investor. You want to get into the houses that you're okay with doing a little bit of work to and not have to fight all the masses that are currently trying to buy in our area, the Chattanooga, Tennessee area. So that was all I wanted to talk to you about. What was an off-market transaction or an off-market property? Sometimes they can be for sale by owners. You can find those on some online places. You can find those driving. Sometimes sometimes in the real estate world, that's called driving for dollars. Just driving around and you see a little sign out front that says for sale by owner, or you see a little empty home and you run down who the owner is. That's an off-market transaction. A lot of those are done by wholesalers, which is a whole entity in and of itself that finds this property that is willing to, this property owner that's willing to sell it. They don't want to put it on the MLS. They don't want to have to deal with the contingencies and the home inspections and all that kind of stuff. And so they will allow the wholesaler to put it under contract, and that wholesaler will assign that contract to you. And then once that's assigned to you, you purchase it. And at closing, you'll end up paying for the title fees for both sides. If you have any questions, never hesitate. You can shoot me an email at jennifer@southeastrealestateinvestors.com, or you can just shoot me a DM here. I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.